You know, how on earth do you blow through $1 billion?
How do you lose $1 billion is just one of the issues Harvey Levin and the team at TMZ are digging into tonight in an all-new special that premieres right here on Fox 11. It's called TMZ Investigates What Happened to Justin Bieber. Harvey joins us now with the preview. Harvey, congratulations on the documentary. It's really interesting and well done. I watched it, and it seemed like the basic question at the heart of it is Justin Bieber okay? And what's your answer?
He's struggling. I mean, I don't think there's any question. Now, we have talked to both sides in this documentary. We have talked to a lot of people in Bieber's camp, and not just peripheral people, people who know. And we've talked to people in Scooter Braun's camp. So, you know, it has bled over into finances, his marriage. You know, there are all sorts of allegations about drug use. He's had drug issues in the past. And we explore all of it. But the short answer to your story is he is struggling some.
Yeah, and for people that may not be that into the weeds on this, Scooter Braun was his manager and mentor and sort of guided him through his life. And then they had this very public breakup where they've had to split their finances as well. You get into that. You also get into the questions, is Justin Bieber addicted to hard drugs? Is he struggling with that right now? What did you find?
Well, his people say absolutely not. They don't define hard drugs. We know he smokes marijuana and seems to smoke a fair amount of it. But, you know, there have been all these rumblings about using mushrooms and other things. We could find no evidence, no hard evidence beyond marijuana. And that's easy to find because we see it. He shows it. There have been, you know, there has been talk that we've talked to people about mushrooms and everything else. But again, his side is strong about this, and they say he is not on hard drugs.
And then you get into his religious activities. He joined this church led by this guy, Judah Smith. And that's where you see a lot of his close relationships start to fall apart. And you question whether he's in a cult.
Well, there are a lot of people who say it's a cult, including one former employee of that church who says it. He denies it. He says they'd be the worst cult ever. They meet once a month. So the reality is that Judah Smith has enormous influence over Justin Bieber's life. And since Judah Smith came in the picture, Justin has jettisoned Scooter Braun. He has jettisoned his best friend, Ryan Good, who was the best man at his wedding, and others. And, you know, it is interesting that what's different about Judah Smith is he was on the board of directors of Justin's clothing company. Justin put him on there. Now, Judah says he wasn't making any money on it, but he was on that board. And we get into, you know, we're told by people connected with Scooter that at one point Justin and Judah came up to him and said, you know, Scooter's Jewish, and said, you need to believe in Jesus. If you don't believe in Jesus, there's something wrong with you, essentially. And then the business manager, Lou Taylor, who's also a member of that church and on the board of directors, Justin's business manager, we're told by an eyewitness, said to Scooter, well, we may forgive you, but you cannot be in his life anymore. That's essentially what she said.
Wow. So
he is just isolated from pretty much everybody who was important in his life before.
Real quickly, my takeaway out of this documentary is I just end up feeling bad for Justin Bieber. Thinking about, you know, a 13-year-old kid who never really got to grow up, has all these paparazzi trailing him at all times, everybody criticizing him, didn't really have that strong of parental figures in his life. Do you feel bad for him?
Exactly the way you do. And, you know, look, I mean, he never had a childhood. And that can be really damaging, and we've seen it with a lot of stars. But, you know, look, I mean, just something as basic as money. Justin Bieber blew through $1 billion. We get into how he had to sell that music catalog to stay afloat. He was on the verge, we're told from his people, people connected with him, he was on the verge of, the words were, financial collapse in 2022. So you've got this 13-year-old who becomes a superstar, and, you know, with no money management training. So in a way, what do you expect? And you know, we've seen this before, and sadly, we're seeing some of this with Justin.
Yeah, well, the documentary is called TMZ Investigates What Happened to Justin Bieber. It premieres tonight on Fox 11 at 9 o'clock, right before the Fox 11 News at 10. You can also watch it streaming on Hulu tomorrow. Harvey, thank you. And at the end, there is some good news, some hope about Justin Bieber, and we hope this all ends up working out for him. We appreciate your continued good work, Harvey. Thank you.
Thanks, Alex.